Mobile Suit Gundam The Witch from Mercury barely deserves to hold the Gundam name. It's a poorly written, masturbatory, woke feminist mess of a series, which completely disrespects the core of what Gundam is, which has always been gritty, realistic, masculine war stories. If Bandai wants to go woke, then we all know that they're going to go broke, and they'll suffer the wrath of the true Gundam fans, who they've abandoned in pursuit of queers and fujoshi. This is just another example of virtue signaling SJWs trying to steal our history from us and erase what made this series so popular to begin with, and we cannot let that happen. This goes all the way back to the original show, released in 1978, and starring Gundam's original hero, John Gundam. John was a strong, masculine hero, a real role model for young boys to look up to in the wake of scandals such as Watergate and the end of the Vietnam War. This series was also groundbreaking for being one of the first super robot anime ever produced, marking a breakaway from the dominant style of real robot shows that had dominated the anime scene for several decades by this point. This was followed in 1994 by the sequel series, Gundam Wing, starring John Gundam's son, John Wings Gundam, who would follow in his father's footsteps to become a hero to children across America and the rest of the world. Finally, completing the original trilogy of the Gundam franchise was 2006's Gundam 00, a thrilling prequel in which John Gundam's grandfather tries and fails to stop the series of events that would eventually lead to the 1-year war by underlining the importance and necessity of America's military interventions in the Middle East to combat the escalating threat of global Islamic terrorism. Of course, just like George Lucas, Bandai couldn't leave their original trilogy well enough alone. The woke BS began with 2014's Mobile Suit Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans, a sequel which, bizarrely, does not feature any member of John Gundam's family, and in which Bandai made the bizarre decision to name the main robot after a country in the Caribbean as some sort of bizarre wokest nod to the Third World. This was only the tip of the wokest iceberg, however, as now G-Witch features lesbians as main characters, and even explicitly rejects traditional Gundam fans by having the strong, masculine Guel Jeturk, clearly a John Gundam stand-in, beaten by the power of woke feminist gayness in the first episode. Not only that, but Celeste Mercury also steals Guel's girlfriend away from him, a symbolic cuckolding of Bandai straight fans. Not only that, but for the second time in a row, Bandai snubbed John Gundam and his extended family. I suppose we should at least be thankful that they didn't bring him back, like Ruin Johnson did in 2016's infamously terrible Star Wars The Force Awakens. The story is a complete mess. Why does this school exist? Where is the war? Isn't Gundam supposed to be about war? They forgot to make half of the episodes too. The prologue seems to be set in the future, when Celeste Mercury is all grown up and has a daughter of her own, but like the idiots they are, Bandai can't keep the woke feminist script straight, and forgot to make her a dyke in the future. It also doesn't make any sense that the main character is a woman. Even woke Iron-Blooded Orphans stuck to the principles established by the original Gundam in 1978. Women cannot pilot mobile suits. It is not sexist to point out that men are simply better at fighting than women, and Bandai are shamelessly ramming politics down our throats with this bloated, overwritten, paper-thin, virtue-signaling mess. This whole thing has been a disappointment to me, and I have cancelled my pre-orders on any and all Bandai merchandise for the foreseeable future. And I encourage every one of my fellow Freeze Peach warriors to do exactly the same. It's a real shame too, because I was excited to have even more underage characters to put in my jar.